Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Play action now. Cousins. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Rocky Sin. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. Oh, looking for Waller, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd down now.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Osborne. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and situation. They try again with Cook. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
It's now third and goal.
Third and goal for Cousins. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hockenson. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Joseph now to kick this one away. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Things a lot different than the last time they were on the field. Remember, they threw the interception, gave up the touchdown, and now trailing 7-0 and looking for a response. The tackle for loss goes to Eric Kendricks.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed out around the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third at about 7 left. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing his car on third down. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Carr going to give it to Jacobs, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. Carr. And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Raiders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So only even at 7 now as they kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. T.J. Hockenson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs, 77 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime.
Daniel Carlson to kick off for the Raiders.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway, as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. Cousins now to throw on first down. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. This will be fielded at the 17. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. And ready to get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing a shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Card out a throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it.
And he's got Renfro in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Raiders have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14.
Vikings 14.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good 2nd half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the 2nd half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. run the best plays you got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And on fourth down, is the punt team sending this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that.
It seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try to put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try to put the football in one.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. What now? On 2nd and 7, Carr. Pass thrown to Adams. He's got it on the crossing route. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Carr finding his former college teammate Adams there for the Raider first. Now Carr. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take all the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did. It came through with a big-time pick six.
Teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Here comes Hall. He's going to bring it out. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They will look to flush the memory of that pick six as we now have a brand-new tie ball game here in the fourth quarter. Getting down to the good stuff. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Clock running under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. On play action, now Carr. hits Adams complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. They were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or worse, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 66 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Cousins to throw. Pass complete. It's Hockenson. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that will bring up second down. Here's Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Osborne. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. What do you think? Play this safe? Just worry about getting OT?
Yeah, don't make any risky throws. It's going to change the outcome. But if anyone slips, take the big shot.
Now Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. And we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Here's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Cousins. That's complete. It's Cook. And he's got a 1st down as he's tackled inbounds at midfield. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Cousins now from the 50. This one brought in by Jefferson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From just shy of midfield, Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Again, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line.
All time. Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
So the Vikings going to get the first chance to possess the football as we are back underway here in overtime. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 72 yards on the ground for him so far.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The quick throw finds T.J. Hockenson. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Running for it. Here's Cook. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter's telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow. Might be.
And he will score. Touchdown. Vikings. He goes 33 yards on the touchdown run. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score, and OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime, just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all, and then to get there and finish it what I would call old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great, great game that we bore witness to. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Carr. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. And the Vikings will take over possession here at the 44. So it's a win for the Vikings, and it was Kirk Cousins, the veteran, who really led the way.
Yeah, the numbers don't jump off the page, but he was a steady influence back there. He had a couple touchdown passes on the afternoon. His guys rallied around him, and they're going to come away victorious.